Hello again. Let's get into the Instant Farmer chapter number 30. Sarah is 10 minutes early for their date. She is sitting along the edge of the famous fountain, just staring in the distance. Sarah is quietly thinking. She is thinking about Ken and how great he is, and yes, she can see a future with him. The fountain is circulating the water. The gentle sound of moving water is all Sarah needs in order to think. Ken's cab has arrived to the location. He pays the driver, then exits the vehicle. Before taking a step in any direction, Ken's eye is being drawn to the fountain. His girlfriend is there. Sarah is remarkable. She looks like a statue. Ken knows how lucky he is. He slowly starts to walk towards her. She hasn't spotted him yet. One step at a time. Ken moves closer to this amazing woman, and the closer he gets, the more nervous he feels. Those butterflies in his stomach have humongous wings. One step at a time. Ken has arrived to his destination. His girlfriend has noticed his arrival. She stands and gives him the nicest hug ever. Ken says, "We have 20 minutes or so until Greg arrives. Do you want to sit on the edge of the fountain with me?" Sarah says, "That sounds magical. You are the only person that I want to date. How was your day?" Ken says, "You look beautiful near the water. I am so lucky. You are amazing." Sarah says, "Thank you for the compliment. So, your day, how was it?" Ken says, "My project is really growing wings. We are going to build a skyscraper. Huge project." Sarah says, "That sounds great. I'm glad that you are so busy." Ken says, "I visited Peter again. I do not remember if I mentioned him to you. He is the older man with the dog." Sarah says, "Yes, you mentioned him at dinner. He is the one with the penthouse apartment that you like so much. Are you going to visit Peter often?" Ken says, "Yeah, I want to visit him regularly. He is a great man." Sarah says, "It sounds like you had a nice day. Are you ready for dinner tonight?" Ken says, "I love this restaurant. I don't remember the last time I was here." Sarah starts to hold Ken's hand. They're starting to look at each other deeply. Ken makes a move. He leans in for a kiss. That was so cute. Sarah likes the attention. She knows that they are not very affectionate in public. There always seems to be somebody watching. But that kiss was so sweet. Sarah wants Ken to make a wish while they are both sitting on the edge of the famous fountain. Ken lets Sarah know that he is the luckiest man in the world and that he sees a future with her. One more little kiss, then the two of them stand up at the same time. Perfect timing. As they stand, Greg and Jennifer have arrived. The four of them are standing beside the famous fountain. Greg and Sarah have already met, but Jennifer is new to the group. They say their hellos and how are yous. They are excited for double date tonight. The question of who made the reservation came up. Is the restaurant even expecting them? Greg reassures everybody that he made all the necessary plans. and that they are in for a treat tonight. The group of four quietly walks towards the entrance of the restaurant. There is no hurry at all. A staff member greets the group at the front door. She is very friendly. She looks up the name of the reservation. There, Greg's name is there. And they are about 5 minutes early. The host tells Greg that their table is ready for them. That is good news. So she shows them in. She escorts the group to their table and then quickly walks back to her podium. A waiter comes to their table within 2 minutes. He is handing everybody a menu. He takes the time to tell the group of the special today. It happens to be a trout dinner. This meal comes with corn and asparagus. That sounds good. Greg is a fan of corn. He thanks the waiter and tells him that they need a few minutes to decide. That's fine. So the waiter smiles and gives the group some space. They are now looking at the menu. There are all kind of good choices just waiting to be made. Ken makes a comment on how good the lobster is at this place. He then goes on to say that he hasn't been here in many months and that this restaurant is incredible. Greg says, "Okay, so Ken wants lobster. What about you, Jennifer? What item do you like on the menu? Or maybe you like the trout." Sarah says, "I have been here recently. It was last week. My last visit here was last Monday. This was before I met Ken. And yes, the lobster is amazing here." Ken says, "Sarah knows all the great restaurants. She is so great." Sarah says, "Thank you for the compliment. Yes, the fish dinner is great. So is the breaded shrimp. It all depends on what you are in the mood for." Ken says, "I'm in the mood for lobster. Yeah, the classic lobster dinner, that is for one." Jennifer says, "I want something light. That trout dinner sounds a bit heavy. Just a small plate for tonight." Sarah says, "The classic lobster sounds great. You have excellent taste. It comes with Brussels sprouts. I like the portion. Just one tail." Greg says, "I like corn. I'm leaning towards a trout dinner. That meal really speaks to me." Jennifer, "If you don't want to eat everything on your plate, you can take it home for later." Sarah says, "Greg, you're going to be very happy with the trout. It is excellent." Jennifer says, "I like that idea of taking home whatever is left on my plate. I don't know, maybe the cod and shrimp plate. That one looks good. The cod is breaded and so is the shrimp. I hope that one will not be too heavy for me." Ken says, "I saw that one earlier. That is a good choice, Jennifer. It comes with mashed potatoes." Jennifer says, "Okay, I made my selection. This is a nice restaurant." The waiter comes to the table to take the group's order for tonight. He is very happy to see that everybody's made a selection. One by one, they tell him what they want for dinner. He carefully writes it down on a notepad. He has a genuine smile for the group. Then he heads over to the waiter's station so he can input the information onto the computer. Jennifer wants Sarah to join her in the bathroom. Jennifer wants to chat before dinner. That sounds good. The two ladies stand up together and walk to the bathroom. That means Greg and Ken will remain at the table. In the bathroom, Jennifer is telling Sarah about the relationship history of her and Greg, and that they ran into each other recently. Jennifer is saying how nice Ken is, and that Sarah has found a good man. Sarah likes that. She is smiling at that comment. The two ladies turn on the tap and start to wash their hands. Greg and Ken are laughing at the comment Ken made. The two gentlemen are having a great time tonight. They have been best friends for a long time. The two gentlemen are still laughing when the two ladies return to the table. Their laughter brings a smile to Sarah's face. They find their seats at the table. Jennifer is curious of the joke. She wants to laugh also. There, dinner is ready. Perfect timing. Everybody's attention is now focused on the waiter. That joke is going to have to wait a few minutes. Jennifer says, if you don't want to share the joke with us, then that is fine. Sarah says, can you tell us a joke, please? The waiter is not around anymore. Ken says, okay, Greg was saying that there was a dog barking at him on his mail route today, and the dog's owner came out to meet Greg. Greg says, yeah, it probably is not very funny now, but it was funny earlier. Sarah, do you like dogs? Sarah says, I think a lot of people really like dogs. I do not like dogs or cats, but I do understand that people like dogs. So what kind of dog was barking at you? Greg says, that is the funny part. It was a big dog. It was a Dalmatian. Do you like Dalmatians? Sarah says, I still don't see the joke. Okay, a dog is barking at you. Greg says, the dog started to chase its tail while it was barking. The dog was going nuts. You should have seen this dog. Sarah says, okay, I guess I can see the humor in that. Do you encounter dogs often? Greg says, dogs. Yeah, I see dogs all the time. Usually they don't make any fuss. Jennifer says, this cod is fantastic. Does anybody want to try shrimp? Sarah says, glad you like it. I know that you're not too hungry. Jennifer says, I am probably hungrier than I thought earlier. The shrimp is so good. And are you sure that you don't want one? Sarah says, thank you for the offer, but my dish is going to be enough for me tonight. How about you, Ken? Do you want a shrimp from Jennifer? Ken says, I do not want a shrimp. This lobster is fantastic. How do you like it, Sarah? Yes, it is fantastic. I love this restaurant. Greg says, I don't remember the waiter getting us something to drink. Ken says, I ordered 2 bottles of white wine earlier. Yeah, you were right. The wine is not here yet. Sarah says, I hope for a glass of wine soon. Ken says, there he is. I just need to get his attention. Here he comes. The waiter says, I forgot the wine. Ken says, yes, don't worry, dinner here is excellent, but with the wine that I've chose, dinner will be even better. The waiter says, I will hurry back with your bottles. It was 6-year-old Pinot Grigio, is that right? Ken says, yes, that sounds good. The waiter quickly goes to the computer to see what the issue is. It turns out that he forgot to input the order earlier. So he inputs the information and walks towards the bar so he could pick up the 2 bottles. Carrying the 2 bottles over to the table now, he fixed that issue quickly. Now the table has wine to drink. Greg thanks the waiter as the waiter is pouring him a full glass. The waiter smiles. Ken says, this dinner is special. I want to thank you for being friends tonight. I really like this restaurant. Greg says, the wine is excellent. Glad we finally remembered about the wine. Yes, friends, we are friends tonight. Ken says, Sarah, how often do you come to this restaurant? I have not been here any time lately. Sarah says, I am a regular here. I love seafood. Let's say a few times a month. Ken says, has the waiter ever forgot about the wine before? Sarah says, that's funny. It got a giggle out of me. No, the wine is never forgotten. This is new to me. Ken, you have excellent taste in wine. Ken says, thank you. You are fantastic. Jennifer says, Sarah, it is excellent to meet you. Ken is a special guy. You two are great together. Greg says, how do you like your fish tonight? That side of mashed potatoes looks fantastic. I like you a lot. Sarah says, you're a sweetheart, Greg. You have so much love to give. Jennifer is a lucky girl. Greg says, dinner is just about finished. The wine was fantastic. The company was probably irreplaceable. If the four of us could be friends forever, then I would be a happiest man. Ken says, yes, we are great together. Sarah says, this seafood dinner was exceptional. It was excellent. It was a perfect night. Jennifer says, I finished my whole dinner. I can't believe it. Does anybody want to go outside and play in the famous fountain? Greg says, we need the bill first. We need to pay the bill. Sarah says, tonight dinner is on me. I had such a great time with you. Please, can I pay the bill? Ken says, yeah, that's fine. I want to play near the fountain, not in it. Jennifer says, yeah, near the fountain. That is what I mean. Sarah pays the bill with her credit card. She is happy tonight. The company was excellent. The food was excellent. Tonight was just about perfect. The group of four stand up together. They tuck in their chairs, then head toward the entrance. The waiter gives them a smile as they pass him. The host asks Greg how their evening was. Greg makes a joke about happily swimming in the famous fountain. The host laughs as the group goes outside. That concludes this chapter. I hope you enjoyed listening. Again, if you want to read along with me, then you should pick up a copy of my ebook from Kindle. Goodbye until the next chapter.